I'm pretty sure you know the feeling. That bone-deep exhaustion that sleep just can't seem to touch. Well, we're talking about parental burnout, and it is so much more than a buzzword. It's a really critical growing issue. So today, we're going to break down exactly what it is, why it's happening, and what on earth we can actually do about it. You know this quote. It really gets to the heart of the whole thing, doesn't it? It comes from a parent in a study, and it just cuts through all the noise. We're living in what some researchers call a culture of achievement, where the pressure to be the perfect parent raising the perfect kid is just crushing. But this one sentence is such a powerful reminder of what actually matters. So, what is parental burnout, officially? Well, it's not just about being tired. Think of it more like a phone battery that just won't hold a charge anymore. It's a chronic state of exhaustion. The stress of parenting becomes so overwhelming that it completely drains your physical, emotional, and mental resources, leaving you with, well, nothing left in the tank. And here are some of the biggest red flags. You might recognize this progression. First, there's that constant fatigue. Then you might notice your fuse is getting shorter. You're getting frustrated way more easily. After that, maybe you lose the motivation for things you used to love. And finally, you might start to feel emotionally distant, even from your own family. Just recognizing these signs is a huge first step. That brings us to the big picture here, because this isn't just happening to a few people. When you look at the data, what you see is nothing short of an exhaustion epidemic. So let's look at the numbers. 57%. Just let that sink in for a second. In a 2023 survey, more than half of all parents said they were feeling burned out. That means next time you're at the playground, just look around. Odds are every other parent you see is running on empty. And if you're a parent who's also juggling a job, the number gets even higher. Another study found a staggering 65% of working parents are dealing with burnout. I mean, it's clear the pressure to be amazing at home and at work is taking a massive, massive toll. We're also seeing a really worrying trend over time, especially for moms. Check this out. Between 2016 and 2023, the number of mothers who said they had excellent mental health absolutely plummeted from 38% all the way down to 26%. And here's the kicker. This decline started before the pandemic even hit. And that same research shows a pretty significant gender gap. Fathers consistently report much better mental and physical health than mothers do. So while yes, a lot of parents are struggling, it seems mothers are really bearing a disproportionate amount of this wellness crisis. Now, you might be thinking, okay, parents are exhausted, that's rough, but this problem doesn't just stay inside the family home. The consequences create this huge ripple effect, and it impacts their kids, and believe it or not, even the global economy. Research shows a really clear and honestly pretty concerning pathway. It starts with parental burnout. That leads to worsening mental health for the parent. This, in turn, makes harsh parenting practices more likely. And the final heartbreaking result? It can have a negative impact on a child's own development and their mental health down the line. And the impact hits our wallets too, big time. The World Health Organization estimates that depression and anxiety, which are deeply connected to burnout, cost the global economy a staggering $1 trillion every single year in lost productivity. So yeah, this isn't just a personal problem. It's a massive public health and economic crisis. So the billion-dollar question is, why is this happening on such a massive scale? What's feeding this perfect storm of exhaustion? Well, the causes are complicated, but they basically boil down to two major kinds of pressure. On one side, you've got this internal pressure cooker we can call the perfection myth. This is all about social media, that voice of self-doubt in your head, and this intense cultural expectation to be a flawless parent. Then on the other side, you've got a system failure. These are the external forces, the crazy cost of childcare, the lack of paid family leave, and inflexible jobs that make it almost impossible for parents to succeed. What's the game plan? How do we fix this? Well, there's no single magic bullet here. It's really about building a solid support system, and that's a job for everyone. Parents, businesses, and society as a whole. For parents themselves, experts talk about micro-self-care. This isn't about week-long spa vacations. It's about small, doable things you can put into a chaotic day. Things like the 4-7-8 breathing technique to quickly calm your nervous system, or finding tiny joy bursts in your day. And just as important, it means setting real boundaries and learning to ask for very specific, concrete help. But let's be real, parents cannot do this alone. Businesses have a huge part to play. UNICEF has outlined a few key policies that are total game changers. Proper paid parental leave for all parents, truly flexible work options, help with affordable childcare, and support for new mothers. These aren't just perks, they're essential infrastructure for a healthy, functioning workforce. So we'll leave you with this question. Parental burnout is not a personal failure. It's a symptom of a system that is asking parents to do an impossible job with way too little support. So what would change? What would our world look like if we all truly believed that supporting parents through our actions, our policies, our culture was everybody's job? It's a question worth asking for all of us.